Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Let's talk about your credit report. It's one of the most important financial documents in your life, right? But most of us have no idea about the powerful rights we have to actually control it. Today, we're going to dive deep into the law that acts as your financial shield. Let's get into it. I mean, just think about it for a second. This one report can be the deciding factor for getting a mortgage, a car loan, an apartment, sometimes even a job. It's telling a story about you. But what happens when that story is just wrong? When some error, whether it's big or small, is the one thing standing between you and your goals? Well, that's exactly why the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or FCRA for short, was created. And listen, this isn't just some boring, dry piece of federal law. You should think of it as a powerful shield, one designed specifically to protect you, the consumer. At its heart, the FCRA really has three simple but super powerful missions. First, accuracy, making sure the info about you is actually correct. Second is fairness, so that you're treated justly. And third, privacy, protecting your sensitive financial data from anyone who shouldn't be seeing it. Okay, so how does this shield really work in the real world? Well, it all kicks off with your basic, fundamental right to know exactly what's being reported about you.
The FCRA gives you a really clear set of rights that are non-negotiable. You have the right to see everything in your file. You are entitled to a free report every single year from the big three bureaus. That's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You can even get a list of who's been looking at your file. And here's the big one. If you get denied for a loan, a job, or insurance because of something in your report, they legally have to tell you.
Now, this is so important to remember. You're going to see countless websites out there that look official, but annualcreditreport.com is the only one that's actually mandated by federal law to give you your free reports. Stick to this site. It ensures you're not getting scammed or accidentally handing your personal info over to the wrong people.
Your credit report isn't just public information for anyone to see. The law has a really strict rule called permissible purpose. All that means is someone has to have a legitimate, legally defined reason to pull your credit. So a landlord you're applying with? Yep, that's a valid need. But a company that pulls your report just to market some random product you never asked for, or even worse, a business that posts your info online after a bad review? That's a huge violation.
And this right here, this gives you the ultimate control, especially when it comes to your job. An employer can't just wake up one day and decide to check your credit history. The FCRA says, no way. They have to get your explicit, written permission first. It's a really key protection for your privacy at work. Okay, so you have the right to see your report. Great. But what do you do when you open it up and see something that's just plain wrong? Well, this brings us to your second major power under the FCRA. Your right to demand accuracy. The law gives you a clear path to follow. Step 1. You find the error, and you gather up your proof, bank statements, canceled checks, whatever you've got. Step 2. You send a formal dispute letter to both the credit bureau and the company that reported the bad info. And then Step 3, once you've done that, the credit bureau is legally required to start an investigation. And don't let the idea of a dispute letter intimidate you. It's actually really straightforward. You just state your name, the account number in question, clearly explain what the error is, and list the evidence you're including. That's it. You don't need a law degree, just clarity and the facts. 30 days. This number is your best friend during this whole dispute process. Once they get your letter, the credit reporting agency generally has just 30 days to investigate your claim and fix the issue. It's a firm deadline, and that clock is ticking for them, not for you. And it's also good to remember that even accurate, negative information doesn't stick around forever. The FCRA sets clear time limits. Most negative marks, like a late payment, have to be removed after 7 years. Bigger events, like a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, are gone after 10. Your financial past doesn't have to be a life sentence. So, what if you do everything right? You send the letter, you provide all the proof, and the credit bureau still refuses to correct the mistake. Well, the FCRA gives you one final, incredibly powerful tool. This is because the law has teeth. If a credit bureau or some other company violates your rights under the FCRA, you can actually hold them accountable in court. This isn't just about asking nicely, it's about enforcing your legal rights. So what does holding them accountable actually look like? Well, you can sue for actual damages, like if an error cost you a loan or made you pay higher interest. In some really serious cases, there can even be statutory and punitive damages. But honestly, here's the most important part. If you win, the law can force them to pay your attorney's fees. And that's what makes seeking justice a real, affordable possibility for regular people.
So, at the end of the day, your credit report is telling a story about you to the world every single day. The Fair Credit Reporting Act gives you the power to be the editor of that story, to fix the mistakes, to protect your privacy, and to make sure it's telling the absolute truth. The only question left is, are you using that power?